Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by Grain Equipment Company, where innovation meets execution. I'm Dave Russell. House Speaker Mike Johnson announced a last-minute breakthrough on help for farmers. A must-pass bill to avert a government shutdown will now include farm aid, giving farmers something to celebrate this holiday season. A high-pressure lobbying effort by multiple farm groups and Johnson himself has paid off. Johnson says what you'll see reflected in this final package is $10 billion to start. In addition, USDA moved some things around and has added $2 billion for specialty crops, which they announced in late November, all of which means help is coming. While it's not the $15 to $20 billion the American Farm Bureau and many others were asking for, Johnson says the new aid comes not a moment too soon. Exports of U.S. high-value agricultural products are running ahead of a year ago.
Yes, it's true. U.S. exports of so-called bulk ag commodities, such as wheat and soybeans, were, after 10 months of 2024, running about 8% below a year ago. Not good, but that's only the bulk products. USDA economist Bart Kenner says for the so-called high-value export products, different story.
In total, high-value products exports were $100 billion, up 4% over last year.
Kenner says most people think of the U.S. as a huge importer of fruits and vegetables. True enough, but we also export a lot. During the first 10 months of this year, sales of fruit and fruit products hit almost $5.5 billion.
A 9% increase over last year, and vegetables and vegetable products at $7.2 billion, 8% greater than last year.
Also running ahead of a year ago, red meat, dairy products, and even ethanol. Gary Crawford for the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
The 2022 Census of Agriculture showed the U.S. had 1,900,487 farms, down from over 2,100,000 in 2012. That represented a 10% drop, or 208,816 farms in 10 years. Farms with annual revenue of less than $10,000 dropped the largest number within the decade, declining by over 151,000 farms, or 13%. On the other hand, large farms with $1 million or more in revenue increased by 32%, from 81,600 in 2012 to almost 108,000 in 2022. So what are the trends with milk production and milk product and class prices with USDA's latest dairy outlook?
Milk production forecast up for the most part, while price projections are mixed within USDA's milk forecast for December. World Agricultural Outlook Board Chair Mark Jekanowski.
We're seeing some herd expansion. The most recent milk production report showed an increase in cow inventory for 2024, and we expect that to carry into next year as well.
Meaning for year-over-year milk production,
increase of about 1.8 billion pounds.
Greater production shows increased pressure on some product prices.
Our cheese price forecast, we reduced 2 cents per pound for 2024 and lowered it 9 cents per pound 2025. Didn't make any change to our 2024 butter price forecast, but for 2025, it's down 7 cents this month.
Similar offsets in Class 3 and 4 milk prices for both years led to an all-milk price decline of 1 dime year over year. I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
And House Democrats have voted to make Minnesota Representative Angie Craig the new ranking member on the Republican-controlled House Ag Committee. She replaces David Scott of Georgia. The markets are next.
Did you know soybeans' #1 customer is animal agriculture? That includes Ohio's dairy farms. High oleic soybeans have long been highlighted for their use in human food, but it can also be a benefit for dairy cows. Research shows it helps boost milk fat concentration and milk fat yield. That means more profitability. Soybeans, feeding the industry that feeds us. Brought to you by Ohio soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Since 1926, Nationwide has been rooted in agriculture. Founded as the Farm Bureau Mutual Automobile Insurance Company with a mission to protect farmers and their communities, we honor our legacy by offering solutions that evolve with the complex needs of today's farms. As the leading insurer of America's farms and trusted by 8 farm bureaus for 100 years and counting, Nationwide is on your side. Number 1 insurer based on 2023 direct written premium per AM Best. Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
The market's brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. At the Board of Trade, March corn, $4.37 1/4, down 6 1/4. May corn, $4.43 3/4, down 6 1/4. January beans, $9.51 3/4, down 25 cents. March beans, $9.53 1/4, down 25 1/2. July wheat, $5.59, down 2 1/4. At the Mercantile Exchange, December cattle, $191.30, down 95 cents. February hogs, $83.70, up 50 cents. March feeder cattle, $257.37, down 90 cents. This is the Ohio AgNet.